Hey, what's going on, YouTube? So today we're gonna see how we can save money on a maintenance schedule for 2019 Subaru Crosstrek. But in reality, you can just Google any car, whatever car you own. So as you can see here, it says maintenance check 3 months or more, or 3,000 miles. 6 months or 6,000 miles. So we are going to go look for 60,000 miles. All right, well, this website's kind of sketchy because it stops at 18,000. Usually it's a bigger, let me look it up. But so for example, let's just do the 6 months or 6,000 miles, right? So what they're going to be doing typically is performing a routing, rotation, and balance of tires. A lot of times that doesn't even need that. Adding fuel, conditioner, you can do that yourself. You just go to any AutoZone or Advanced Auto. Refilling the oil drain plug gasket. So pretty much with that, they would have to change your oil, obviously, to be able to refill the oil drain plug gasket. If you don't know what that is, they make it hard to read or understand, but that gasket is just a little ring. It looks like this. Got him. No, it really looks like this, and it just goes between the drain plug. Checking tire pressure levels, you can do that yourself. Inspecting the hydraulic fluid. That one, I would have to research what they actually do. To me, that's new. As far as for Subaru. Checking the chassis, door hinges, belts, and hoses. Also applying proper lubrication to the chassis and door hinges if needed, if need be. So pretty much they're saying that they're going to look at all these things, and then if they need lubrication, that they're going to put it on there. If not, they're going to leave it alone if needed. Checking the fluid levels of the windshield wiper. So on average, I know for a Volkswagen, it will cost me about $300 to $500 to $600 for a routine, 3,000, 6,000, 10,000, 15,000 dollars maintenance, mile maintenance. So here, I don't know how much Subaru is. I'm pretty sure it'll probably be within the 300 to the 400 price range. But as you can see, there's nothing major really going on. All right, like I said, the only thing I really need to look at is how to, what hydraulic fluid they're talking about, and the component of my car. I'm not too familiar with my car. I'm learning just like you guys, but I do know how to save some money. So for maintenance for 12 months to 12,000 miles. Inspecting coolant fluid levels. You can inspect your own fluid levels. Inspecting the fluid of the power steering system, replacing if needed. You guys can do that as well. Nothing hard about that. Checking suspension and steering. That's super simple as well. If you're driving and you let go of the wheel at like 25 or 30 miles an hour, and your car starts shifting to the right, to the left, or your steering wheel is changing, something's obviously up. So you can do that yourself. Inspecting the vehicle's exterior light. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. They're just going to turn on all the lights on the outside to make sure everything works. Checking tires or signs of any damage. I mean, again, in 12,000 miles to a year, unless your car has just been sitting there for most of the 12 months. For an example, if you could buy a brand new car, you deploy for 10 months, and you've only driven the car for 2 months, that would definitely be a reason for you to check your tires and see if there's any damage. But if it's a brand new car and you're driving it on the regular, then there's really not a big reason, unless you get faulty tires, then that's a different reason. But other than that, I mean, this could be prevented. So people are like, well, how would you prevent it? Well, it looks to me like they'll check the says normally buyers get the SUV service after 6 months of usage. So it seems that it is recommended to change your oil every 3,000 to 6,000 miles. So yeah, 6,000 miles. So every 6,000 miles, you're obviously going to get an oil change. But I do it every three and a half. 3,000 miles. I don't really just being old, just from the old way of doing things. Every 3,000 miles, you want to just change it, or I think it's like 3 to 6 months. You want to change your oil just for longevity for your engine. All right, so 18,000 miles or 18 months. Inspecting brakes. That could be something as simple as them looking to see if you have any padding, any brake padding. If it's pretty flat, then you would know what it looks like. Or you can also Google images of a worn brakes and new brakes, and you kind of see, how much padding you need. Replacing oil filter. Again, that's simple. Checking service battery terminals. I mean, they're just looking to see that everything's connected right. Nothing has been torn or anything. Checking vehicle alignment. Again, to me, if you're driving the car and you let go of the wheel at 25, 30 miles an hour, but make sure you're at a flat surface, guys. Don't go on a bumpy road, or if you live in New Orleans, you guys know what I'm talking about. Man, that place was on some other level. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. So yeah, go 25, 30 miles an hour, let go of the wheel. If it starts pulling to the right, to the left, if it's just wobbling back and forth, obviously there's something that needs to be checked. Checking tire pressure. Again, that's simple. You can get a PSI gauge for that. Inspecting engine air filter. So that you can find in your owner's manual, and you can just figure out where it's at. Every car has a different filter in a different place, different location. They're almost always in the under the hood, or the cabin air filter is the one that's in the obviously cabin. But usually the ones that I found are in the driver or in the passenger side, under the passenger's feet, or where they would place their foot. Cleaning the fuel injection components. All right, that one would be a good one for someone to look up. I'm not gonna. I mean, I don't want to say it's easy because I've never done it, but I've never had to do it. So this was something that I will definitely be looking into. See what a bad fuel injection component looks like, or what a faulty one looks like versus a better one. So it says contact us today to schedule an appointment. Let's see what happens. So after I get done with this, I am gonna go outside and show you guys what I'm talking about. Walk around my car, and I don't want to make this video too long, but sometimes it needs to be pretty long in order for you to understand the whole thing. I don't want you to be jumping back and forth to different videos. First time guest, please don't make me fill everything out. I'm not gonna put the VIN. Let's see if it does it without the VIN. I have a Crosstrek. Current mileage. Let's go with 60,000. All right, so 60,000 miles or 5-year factory warranty recommended. So let's go to the total. Oh, it doesn't even tell me the total. So this is what is recommended. Let's see, let's go to add service. How much does it cost? It does not tell me how much it costs. So for 60,000 miles, it needs... So this is what I do get. I get a loaner car available, open Saturdays. That doesn't tell me anything. All right, so what they're going to be doing is replacing oil and oil filter. There you go. Replace oil and oil filter every 6,000 miles or 6 months for normal idle driving conditions. Inspect suspension, which I've inspected suspension before. All you do is you push down and on a car to see the suspension holds. Still has some stiffness to it. Inspect engine coolant. You just open up the coolant, not the valve, the coolant cap, just to make sure you have coolant. And honestly, that's for older cars. For newer cars, you can just look at the coolant in your reservoir, and it should be where it says when cold. There's a when cold line and a when hot line. When hot means obviously when the engine is hot. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not aligning right. So there you go. Inspect coolant. Inspect V-belt. So the belt, I'll show you where the V-belt is, guys, because this is what I should be doing outside. So let's go up. Just to make sure that it doesn't look torn or old or faulty. Make sure it looks good. Okay, so we are inspect axle bolts and joints. All right, so that's under the car. So if you have a jack, that'll be great. Is needed. But if you have access to a lift, that'll be the best thing you can do. Lift up the car all the way. Replace air cleaner elements. So, like I was saying earlier, the cabin filter, the air filter. So that's what they're talking about. Replace spark plugs. So I'll probably be doing the spark plugs myself. The automatic transmission fluid. There's a way to make sure that the fluid's looking good. Inspect. So all they're doing is inspecting. Like they're not saying they're gonna change it. They're gonna do anything. They're just inspecting. Everything so far has been inspecting, except replacing the air cleaner elements and the spark plugs. Everything else is in the oil. Everything else is inspect. Okay, so now we are at the transmission fluid. Replace AC filter every 12 months to 12,000 miles. Air filter, not a problem. Inspect continuously variable transmission fluid. Again, that's a new one. I gotta look that one up, but I mean, it doesn't seem hard. Inspect clutch system if equipped. So my car is not a manual. I do not have a clutch system. Inspect front and rear differential gear oil. So again, if you can lift the car up, we'll be able to show you'll be able to see what they're talking about. For severe driving conditions, I don't go off-roading. I don't do any of that crazy stuff. Not yet, at least. I'm trying to pay off my car first before I get crazy with it. Replace engine oil and oil filter every 3,000 miles. So there you go. It tells you right there, every 3,000 miles or 3 months. So, man, I can't make this up. So here it says every 6,000 miles. And a lot of people that have a Crosstrek, they're not as delicate with it as I am. All right, mine, it's 60,000 miles, but I still consider it a new car. So I don't go off-roading. I don't do any of that stuff. For those people that do, I hope they've seen that they are supposed to do their oil, replacing the oil and oil filter every 3,000 miles to 3 months. So if you guys are out there and it's you, please, hopefully you learned something. Inspect cooling system. We went over that before. Inspect brake lines. Okay, that's a new one. Again, if you can lift the car up, that'll be awesome for you to see. Inspect park and brake. I mean, on an older car, it's pretty self-explanatory. But if your park and brake works, then everything should be working. So what I would do is put it in park, put the parking brake, and try to push the car back and forth. If you feel like the car is rolling, then obviously you need to fix that parking brake. Inspecting steering system, power steering. Just make sure you have fluid in there. That's pretty much what they're doing. Nothing crazy. Inspect transmission gear oil. Again, that's something I need to look up. Perform tire rotation and inspection. So tire rotation you can do yourself. And again, if the tires are good, I just put brand new tires on there. So I mean they're gonna be good for another 60,000 miles. Inspect engine coolant invert assembly side. Hybrid vehicles. So I'm not a hybrid car. I don't have a hybrid car. Replace brake fluid, clutch fluid. MT model only. I don't have an MT model only. Inspect wheel bearings. Okay, so if your wheel bearings, you will want to lift up your car, and if you can move the wheel up and down, and then you have a little. I'll have to show you guys physically, and I will eventually. I'm sorry, it's just trying to go through this, and it's already 13 minutes long, and I'm not trying to do it that long for you guys. Inspect fuel lines and connections. If you know where it's at, you gotta just again go to your owner's manual, find out where the fuel lines, and then just kind of inspect them. If they look like they're corroded or something, then you might want to look into what you need to do from there. And then brake pads, and disc. I think I might need new brakes, so we'll see. I'll probably be doing that eventually in the near future. But that's what it is, and too bad they're not telling me how much it's gonna cost. But for that alone, let's see. Let's go to next. Select any advisor, transportation, drop off. Okay, let's just do 9. Come on, man. Let's go to next. Name. See, yeah, they're not telling me how much it's gonna cost. So this is kind of sketchy. I don't like that. Usually they tell me what it's gonna cost me. But you guys can try this, see how much it can cost you, and then you go from there. But this is how you save money on the maintenance. You look at the things that you actually cannot do, and there's other things that you can visually just check. Them saying inspecting is you're just really checking. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me or any other car guru out there. I don't consider myself a car guru, but I do know a little bit, a thing or two. And just ask. I mean, the worst that can happen is them not answer you. All right, if you have any questions, please drop them down in the comment and drop a like, please. Thank you.